Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to our Adobe XD project work. So in our previous videos we started working on our education app user interface. Alright, so we continue with this. We have the structure. If you have followed it, you should be at this point by now. There are slide changes. The slide changes that added more courses on our interest page, so you can do that, add more courses to get up to this point and add your button to continue to the next page. Now before we continue, I want to show you some tricks that we can use in setting our layout. Okay, so you can see that my layout is set out in a certain way, right? A certain point, how to you can measure the space in which it should, all your layouts should be aligned. All right, so I'm going to show you some few tricks that you can use to do that. The first one is the ruler. Okay, you can use the ruler to set out your layout to make sure that they form they are in order. So how can we get a ruler? So on this side, on the left side of our artboard, every artboard has got one. Every artboard has that style. So at this side of our artboard, you can just put your arrow there. You can see that it turns out to be two-dimensional arrows. You can click and drag on it to bring out the ruler. So this is the ruler. You can just lay out, put your ruler here to measure if all of them are on the same line. You can also do that for the other side so that they become the same. All right, so that they are on the same. You can also pull the top. So the top right here, you can have an arrow right there. So you can see this is not aligned properly. I will just go and click on it once, yes, to align it to that line, to that baseline, right? You can also put the same thing to the bottom, or to set out where you want to have your element to cover. So you can see that I have everything set on the same line. All right, and I think these ones would have to come down a bit. One, yeah, so this is it. But in looking at it carefully, you can see that this side here, the margin from here to here is different. This is quite bigger than this one. So how can we set out our own the exact margins for all of them? So we can set out the grade, okay, the grade boxes to measure that. And how are we going to do that? We go to view here, our view tab here. We go to our view, click on it, we come down to guides. Okay, we come down here, we have show layout grade, we have show square grade. So let's try any of them to see. So we have the show grade. So we are shown the grade, and you can see where it is marked with the different color, and you know that our layout, our element could have been at the edges of this. All right, could have covered that space, but it goes away. But we can still maintain this. But we can also use the square grade to see how our items come to play. Go into view, and here it says we can hide the layout, okay, but we can also show the square grade, right, to overwrite this one. So we show the square grade right here. I'm going to zoom in, then you can see how they are set out right here. So you can see that our ruler could have come here a bit, and could come here, and so our elements could come to that side. So we can virtually use this to set out how each of them should be displayed. It is also a great way of measuring the sizes of our boxes right here, our elements right here. So you can see now each of them is sitting on a particular area. All right, so we can do this. It's a beautiful way to set out your layout to a particular grade. All right, so we can have this and put our items right here. Good. So this is it. This is how we can use the grid and then the guides to guide our layout on where we should place them. So you can see that now we placed all of them right in a particular area where we have the measurement, right, the right measurement for it. All right, so you can continue doing that, but you can also see that I keep on moving some element whilst in order to center them. All right, this is not the best way. You can help, but this is not the best way. So what you can do is to select the items, to the two of them, and on top here you can set out how they should be aligned. So either they are aligned top, they are aligned center, they are aligned to the bottom. So I want them to be centered, so I can just align them to be set to the center, but it is still fixed to the right side. So I can come to this area and also fix it to center. So you can see that it's now in the center. I don't have to be moving them with the left arrow key or any of the arrow keys. All right, I'll just select this and then the element, the two of them, click on this, click on that. I can set them to the base, set out to the edge, set out to the left, center, center. All right, good. So that is also a beautiful way to do that. Okay, to put them into the center. I'm going to do that for all of them. You can also do that whilst you can to set your layout very nicely. Okay, center, center. So this is a sure way to know that your elements are right at the required position. Okay, so center, center. All right, to check all of that, center, center. To put center, center. Okay, center, center. All right, so you can do this for all of them to make your work look very, very neat. You know, some of them were precisioned, were actually precisioned to the right side. So center, 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 and my thing here, my button, continue button, also center, center. Right, so that is it. You can set out all of them. You can do this whilst you start, the moment you start your project, in order to make sure that they follow the right precision. All right, so we have all the designs at the right stage. All right, so I'm going to take off the views, the guides, the grade. Sorry, this is the grade. So I'm going to take off the grade, height grade, and I have my beautiful thing here. I'm going to pull off the rulers. And to pull all them out, you can just drag them, and when you reach here, you see the delete icon. You just leave it, and then it will be deleted. So you have deleted everything. You can select all elements and then align them. All right, but this one you're not going to do that. All right, so yes, you can set them to the alignment that you want if that is it, but I don't think we'll be looking at this. I don't think we will need that for anything, because this one is separate layers that we want to. All right, you can set them to horizontally. All right, like this. You can use this to center all of them horizontally so that they match each other. Select all. Right, all of them will be set. You can see the changes. Right, so that they will be at the same area, so you don't have to make sure that they are at the right side. Okay, and this as well. So we are going to use this, or no? Okay, let's leave them like that. So yeah, so we'll come back in the next video to continue with our project. So this is what we did to set out our thing. Now they all look in the same way. All right, we have the precision measured correctly. So we come back in the next video to continue with the rest of the artboards.